Okay, welcome back to today's tutorial. So in this course, I'm going to teach us Power BI from scratch to end. So you don't need to have any prior knowledge about Power BI because everything is going to be from scratch. So if you are seeing me for the first time, my name is George Okunamat. I am a data scientist and also a data analyst using Python and Power BI. Alright, so in this course, we are going to look at 4 chapters. So chapter 1, let's go to our course outline. In this table of content, chapter 1, we are going to look at data connectivity. So in this chapter, we will look at introduction to Power BI, installation of Power BI, and get data from different sources. In chapter 2, we are going to look at data modeling, how to connect 2 tables together. Now in chapter 3, we are going to look at data transformation, and in chapter 4, we are going to look at DAX function and data visualization, which is the core for this video. So what is Power BI? Power BI is a business analytics tool developed by Microsoft that allows users to connect to various data sources, transform and model the data, and create interactive reports and dashboard. So it is widely used for data visualization, business intelligence, and decision making by individuals and organizations. So basically what Power BI does is that it gives an insight of a data by a visual form. It is widely said that people learn faster or more in depth when they see the data or see by videos or by pictures. Okay, so Power BI helps us to visualize our data in an insightful manner. So Power BI is business intelligence. So it gives intelligence to our data or our business data. So what we are going to do today is we are going to look at how to connect our data, get data, model, transform data, and also create visualization. So Power BI is an interactive platform to create interactive reports and dashboard. So with that said, let's go into how to install our Power BI. So for you to install your Power BI, navigate to your Chrome browser or any of the browser you're using. For me, I'm using Chrome. So just go ahead and type download Power BI and click on enter. So the first link, remember we said that Power BI is owned by Microsoft Word, okay? So it's a Microsoft platform. So this first link you are seeing here, download Microsoft Power BI desktop from official. So and the official website for this is microsoft.com, alright, /download, okay? You're gonna go and click on it. Once you click on this, it's gonna, depending on your system and also your internet connectivity. Alright, so once you click on that first link, you're going to go down to where we have your download, okay? But first of all, you can select your language. It's either you're using English or you're using French or you're using any of the above languages. So but for me, I'm using English language. So you're going to hit on download. Okay, now it's going to ask you for your system. Now your operating system, is it you are using 64 or just normal? How to navigate? Just go to your search bar and type system, all right, and click on enter. Okay, so when you look at here, I'm using Microsoft Windows 10 Pro. Okay, that's what we are looking at. We are looking at where to see we are using 33 or 64 bit, somewhere here. Okay, look at a system directory. I'm using system 32. All right, so I'll come down here. I'm using 32, not 64 bit. So I'm going to click on the first link here and click on downloads. So if you look at here, it's going to start downloading, but I have already downloaded this. Once you download it, you can navigate to where your download folder, and the installation process is very simple. That is for Windows users. So this is how you can download your Power and install your Power BI. So we are going to look at, we have looked at the installation process, okay? But if you have any challenge, you can also tell me on the comment section or chat me up. I will guide you step by step to do full installation on your Power BI. So the next thing we're going to look at is get data from different sources. So this is my Power BI. So once you're able to install your Power BI and you launch it, it's going to look at like this. This is the interface. So let me walk you through different areas we are going to be working with. Now, the first area where we have this, okay, is a add data to your report, these areas, all right? So you can choose from Excel to import data from Excel, from SQL, from data into a blank table, or use the sample data. But I will not advise you to go through here as a beginner. The area we are going to get our data is from this. You go to home, you see a get data. You can get your data from Excel workbook, Power BI semantic models, data flows, Dataverse, SQL Server, analysis services, TXT and CSV, web data, and so on. All right. So these are the ways you can get or load your data into Power BI working environment. So when you look at this, your left hand side, okay, where am I highlighting? We have what we call report view. This is report view where we are right now. So report view simply means this is where you are going to be seeing all your visuals that you are going to be building for this course. Now the second one is table view. Table view enables you to see your table, your report, your data set you are using. Now we have the next one, model view. Model view helps you to connect your data. Like I said in our table of content, that we are going to do data modeling, connecting to tables. So that will be done using this model view. And we have DAX function. Like I said here, we are going to do, the next one we're going to do is what? DAX function and data visualization. All right, so that is how these are what we need to understand. All right, so if you look at my right hand side, what we have here, visualizations. These are all the charts we are going to be working with. All right, so there's another section here known as data. Now once you load your data into Power BI, this section that is telling you data here is where, just look at my mouse pointer, is where you are going to see your data aligned here, all the columns and all the tables from your data set. Okay, so here in visualization is where the magic is done. Okay, we are going to be looking at all these visuals. Okay, these are all the visuals we have in Power BI, how you can do what, visualize your data. So, and if you look at here, we have page 1, we have plus sign, you have the options to add more pages, and you can also rename your pages, and as well you can also do what, delete the page. All right, so with that said, let's go to our table of content. What we need to do now is to do what, to get our data from different sources. So the first and the most widely used source is Excel file. You can use it from Excel file, from database. You can get it from many other platforms. But for this course, I'm going to show us how to get data set from Excel. All right, so come to your left hand side where you have home. You have here get data. Click on it. Choose Excel because I want to use Excel workbook. Once you choose, it's going to take you to your computer. All right, so you're going to navigate to where you have your data set. Okay, navigate to where you have your data set. Okay, for me, I'm going to navigate to, I'm having this, I have this there's one data set. I'm looking, okay, this sample data. Click on it and click on open. So as you click, it's going to load, say connecting. So Power BI is connecting to your data set. Okay, now you have this navigator pane. Okay, this is a navigator pane. Now in this table we have two tables. Okay, table 1 demo. All right, so when you look at here, you have the options to mark it. Once you click on it, it's going to show you everything. This is the view interface. Okay, for the data that is contained in table 2. These are the data set. Okay, you can navigate through. You can see if the columns and the rows are complete. If you want to use that, you can just mark it here. We have another one, demo. All right, another one demo that has all this as well. All right, so we are going to go and look at it as well. Now let's just see this one. Let's not go and load two different. Okay, let's just work with just one of the data sets. So now once you are able to mark the database or the data set the table you want to use, okay, from here, now come down, you see option of load, transform and cancel. For this course, for this chapter, we are looking at how to load this data set into our Power BI platform. Okay, we are not going to transform now, okay, but there's a section we are going to look at basically data transformation. Okay, so you're going to go ahead after you have viewed your data and everything is okay. You go ahead and click on what? On load data. Now Power BI is going to process it and is going to load the data set into your Power BI. Now if you look at your right hand side, we'll have data. After loading, your data set is going to, the table name is going to appear on this right hand side. All right, so just wait, you're going to see the magic. So it's basically going. All right, so now when you look at your right hand side, we'll have this data. All right, you see that we have this table that we imported earlier. Once you have this greater than arrow, once you click on it to expand it, these are all the columns and the rows you have for this data set. Okay, so this is how you can eventually load your data. Now, like I was telling you about this left hand side where we have report view and table view. So now you have been able to load your data into Power BI platform. So what you need to do, you need to view your table view, to view your data. Okay, go to table view and click on it. It's going to load for you. All right, so this is the table view. This is your data set. Okay, this is how you can view your data set after you have loaded it into Power BI working environment. So, and if you look at the table, the right side, which is you have data. If you have more than one table here, all of the tables are going to be arranged here, and all you do is just to go and be clicking each of the table, and it's going to give you the view in this table view. Here you can return back to your report view. So this is how you can be able to do what? To load your data set into Power BI. I hope you enjoy this chapter. So in our next chapter, we're going to look at how to do data modeling by combining two tables into one. I hope you are enjoying this course. Do well to stay tuned and look at it from end. Just go through this course. Don't skip any section because you might be missing a vital information. And I have a bonus for you once you complete this course. I'm going to show you how to fine-tune your models, how to fine-tune your chart, your view, and how to create a beautiful dashboard. So this is what dashboard means. Okay, I can go ahead here. If I want to, let's say I want to visualize my data, I can say, okay, I want to use this clustered bar chart. All right, okay, now I want to use this cluster. Now if you look at, once you load your data, all right, now this is not for the visualization part, though I'm just want to give you as an overview of what you stand to see or to build going forward. If you pick any chart here, any view pattern here, it's going to show you like this. It must be highlighted. Okay, you have all these edges. You can resize it, you can make it bigger or smaller. Now once it's like this, you can now we have x-axis, y-axis and x-axis. Okay, for example, I want to look at the product name. I bring this to my y-axis. It's not going to show anything for now because it's not complete. Okay, now I want to look at the sales. You bring the sales to your x-axis. Okay, if I put it, you can now see that we have a nice looking chart already. Okay, wait, is loading. Just wait a bit. Okay, now you see that we have a nice chart. Okay, this is a cluster bar chart. So this is how you can build your chart. Okay, you can come here and remove it. All right, so for now we are not looking at data visualization. I hope you are finding value for this course. Please do well to stay tuned, watch this course, listen, and also practice by yourself. Okay, whatever you see me implement here, so also implement it from your own end. Now there's one thing I missed out. Okay, now what you are seeing here, all this up interface, what you are having here, we call it ribbon. You have home, you have insert, you want to add any other thing, you have modeling, you have view, optimize, and help. Now, very quick one, you can also save. All right, now a very quick one. Once you download your Power BI, if you are downloading at the, as when I'm making this course, is today is 24th of January 2025. Now come to help to see the version of Power BI. If you are looking using outdated Power BI, come to help, come to about. Right, wait, now I'm going to show you version 2.1.3, 2.139 point this. Now this is January 2025. It is when I downloaded. So this is the latest version of Power BI as of when I am making this course. All right, so this is how you can check your version of Power BI. So this whole place is called Ribbon. So I hope you enjoy this chapter. So let's move into the next chapter. We are going to look at how to do what? Model our data. Thank you, and see you in the next chapter. Welcome to chapter 2 of this course. I hope you enjoyed chapter 1. And so let's recap what we did in chapter 1. In chapter 1, what we did was that we looked at data connectivity. We looked at what Power BI is and also how to install Power BI. And we also were able to get our data from Excel workbook. So in this chapter 2, we are going to look at data modeling. All right. So let me give you a quick one. All right. So data modeling simply means how to connect two tables. All right. So it's basically if your, let's just for example, if you want to connect 2 points, there must be a connecting point that connect these two objects together. So in data modeling in Power BI, it connects two tables together, and these tables must have similarities. They must have something in common that will connect them together. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to base on how to connect our tables together. Okay, two or more tables together. Now if I come to model view, all right, this is table view, model view. You go to model view. Remember, we already connected one table into our Power BI. So we want to see how we can connect this table with another table. So let's go to model view and see what we need to do. All right, so just wait. It's loading. My system is a bit slow right now. All right, so this is basically what model view is. For now, we only have just one table, and the table name is table 2. All right, so there is no connection. We cannot connect because it's just one table. So for us to have another table, in order to connect this table together, we need another table rather. So for us to have another table, we go back to report view. All right, go back to get data and use Excel workbook. All right, just like the same process we did the first time. So we want to add another table in order for us to know what data modeling is all about. So I'll navigate to my mix folder. All right, go to personal and look at sample data. All right, looking at sample data. All right, and click on open. So let's wait. I'm loading this data set again to our database, our Power BI. So if you want to learn a full course on data analysis using Excel, SQL, and Power BI, you can as well contact me. I have a full course on that, which I can also share with you. For you to become a full data analyst, you must have a skill in Excel. You must have a skill in a database, which is database management. Like for me, I'm using Postgres SQL. You also need to have a programming language idea. For me, I use Python, and you can also have Power BI idea. All right, so all of this together makes you a full-time data analyst. So Power BI is just one of the platforms for you to become a data analyst. So if you want to learn Excel, you want to learn Python using libraries like Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and the rest, okay, you can also contact me. I'll also drop a course based on that. All right, so the first column or the first table we imported was this table 2. So we are going to add another table known as demo. As usual, it's going to show you the demo, the data set here. You can as well go through it and see if this is the data set you want to actually import. Okay, you go to what? To load. So you're going to load into Power BI working interface. All right, for now we have just one table, but after adding this data set, the table, you're going to have 2 tables here. All right, so let's just wait while Power BI does the magic. Okay, just wait, it's loading. All right, so it will show this loading is loading and the 2 plus demo. All right, so just wait, it's loading. Right, so it's loading, it's taking some time. Sometimes it can be very slow. Just wait a bit while it loads. All right, so I don't want to pause this video. I want you to see the processes, all right, real time. I don't want to pause. I want you to see the time it takes to load and every other thing. All right, so just stay tuned while it loads. So it's trying to load this demo data into our all right, so it's successfully it has, so we have 700 rows loaded. Now it's working. It's going to show in our data pane. All right, so this is called data pane and visualizations pane. All right, this is called ribbons. All right, so don't forget. So now if you look at our data now, the data site, all right, we now have demo. If I click here, it's going to drop. You see all this data information in this demo. I'm also happy. So if I go to my table view, I can view each of these tables separately, individually. All right, so this is for table 2. If I click on demo, all right, so this is the demo data set. All right, so that we have imported. All right, so our focus for this chapter is to see how we can connect 2 data tables together. Now come to your left hand side, we have model view. Click on it. Now as you can see, there is no connection between these 2 tables. All right, just look at it closely. All right, I can zoom this a bit for you to see it. So for now there is no connection between, I need to go out a bit. There's no connection between these 2 tables. All right, now let's go back to our report view. Let me try to do what I want visualization. All right, so now what data modeling does, the reason why we need to connect 2 tables like this demo and table 2 is because when we are doing our data visualization using these 2 tables, so the data can correspond and it can give us a nicer view. All right, but as it is right now, if you come back here, there is no connection established for this data. All right, these 2 tables are standing separately. Nothing is connecting them together. All right, so but we need to find a way to connect these 2 tables so that whatever we do in demo, it should reflect in table 2. All right, so let me just show you a demo why we need to connect it. Let me pick one visualization, this cluster bar chart. Now let me go to table 2 and carry sales to, okay, let me say I carry profit here to my y-axis. That is for table 2. All right, now I go to my demo and I carry sales to my x-axis. All right, so it's showing actually. All right, for you may think that it's showing, but if you look at it, everything is just the same. There is no proper connectivity. All right. Now, for you, you may think that, oh, it has visualized, but in a real sense, it is giving you as the same answers. Okay, it just give you the same tables, okay, or the same chart. Everything is just the same. But if you look at the sales, let's go back to demo and look at the sales. All right, let's go to table view, go to demo, and let's look at our sales. All right, so the sales, you know that the sales are actually not the same. All right, we have 350, 350, 200, 200, and 777, and the 1515. The list goes on and on. All right, so it is not giving us what we need. But now let's go ahead and connect our data, our model. Let's connect these two tables together and go back and do same analysis. So how do we connect these two tables together? Now you look at the two tables, there should be a form of similarity or something they share in common. If you look at table 2, we have sales here and we have sales here. Look at table 2, we have COGS and we have COGS. We have country, we have date, we have date, discount, and the rest. So you can just choose one thing and connect them together. For me, I want to connect them using this date. Okay, all you need to do, just go to the table you want to use to connect to the other. Let me use table 2 to connect to demo. I can just use this date. All right, hold it and bring to this date and place it there. All right, so just do that. It's going to be a pop-out menu for you to do some things. All right, so just wait a bit. Okay, something is running. It's running. So just wait. It's trying to connect, to establish a connection between table 2 and demo table. All right, now it should be a connection. All right, something is still loading. Please just be patient. All right, sometimes it takes time for it to load based on your system, operating system, right? What's wrong? Actually supposed not to be like this, but it's trying to establish a connection between the two tables. All right, so this is what is going to show you this. All right, so but the relationship is not a good one. All right, why? Because you say this relationship has cardinality many to many. This should only be used if it is expected that neither column date contains unique values. Okay, but this is actually what it means is that these two tables are the same. All right, but I just want to show us a demo. Let me just go ahead and save it. I want to show you us how it needs to be. All right, let's just go ahead and save it. All right, so it's working on it. Okay, many to many. Just wait. All right, so if you look at here, let me take this a bit far and also take this a bit far. Now when you look at, initially there was no connection between these two. All right, now it's many to many. I will advise you not to do this. Okay, but actually we are using the same table. Okay, one is table 2, but they are the same information content. So this is many to many. I will show us in the course of this course, I'm going to show us the real way, the preferred way to connect your two tables together. Okay, one it's supposed to be one to many. All right, but here is many to many because everything here is contained here. So it's many to many connection, which in our next course tutorial, okay, in our next chapter, I'm going to stress that before we start building our chart. Okay, but this is how we can do data modeling. But in the course of building our visuals, I'm going to show us a better way to do what to handle this kind of issues, how to connect two tables that are different but just have one or two similarities that we can connect together. So it's supposed to be one to many connection, not many to many. But be it as it may, this is how you can connect your tables together. All right, you can have 10 tables, you can have 5, you can have 20, based on what the tables you're working with. Okay, you can connect them together to have a connection. So this is what we call data modeling. So if I go back to my report view and let's carry this cluster bar chart again. All right, and go to demo and choose product in our y-axis, and come to demo and choose sales to our x-axis. All right, it's giving us because it's the same. All right, so why it is not giving us what we really want is because the connection here is many to many. It was supposed to be one to many. So basically we are using the same data, okay, to do what? To do this connection. So in our next course, in our next chapter, I'm going to show us how to use one to many, a better way for us to do this. These are what you need to look out for while connecting your tables together. The data set must not be the same, but it should have a form of connectivity. Like if you come here right now, you see that this table 2 is the same thing with this demo, because the difference is just the name. I did it purposely so that I can show us that you might encounter. So when you have this encounter, you don't feel like you are lost. You should know what to do in order to navigate through that challenge. Okay. So the next one I'm going to give us is to show us is because we are going to look at the better data set to use, or the better tables to connect. Okay. But as it is now, we are using the same column, the same data set, just that it has different names. So I'm going to prepare a better table, okay, new table to add to this, so that we can use to do a better data modeling before we start our data transformation. Okay, so basically this is how you can do or connect. Now if I want to connect country, I can say, okay, country, I placed it here, I want to connect. Is saying now always look out for this cardinality. It's saying many to many. It's supposed to be one to many, and here it's supposed to be single, not both. Okay, it's supposed to be single and not both. All right, by default it's giving us as both. And if you look at here, it's giving us what? As an error. Okay, it's giving us an error because it is not supposed to be like this, because we are using the same data but just it has different names. So we are not supposed to use this kind of data to do what? To make data modeling. So I hope you are enjoying this course. Please do well to take notes. So the best way I have learned over the years to learn something new is by actually practicing what you're learning. Now, if you just watch videos, tutorials, courses without implementing, I bet you will forget, you will never achieve your aim. So I want you to devote your time, your interest, your energy, your passion, everything to this course. Now, have a notebook that you can begin to jot while looking at this video. Okay, now have a notebook, jot some points. Okay, and eventually you need to do what? To implement it. Go ahead, download your Power BI, install it, and start from scratch. As I've told you how to get your data, Excel worksheet or workbook into your Power BI platform. Okay, so and also how to do what? To connect your data, your tables together. All right, but this is the wrong way or the wrong data set to use to connect, because we are obviously using the same table, the same data, but different. The name of the table are different. But you need to understand that you don't need to have the table don't need to be the same, but it should have a kind of a form of similarity. Either one or two columns should reference here. Okay, so in our next chapter I'm going to show us a better way to connect, to do data modeling before we dive into data transformation. So I hope you are finding value in this course. Do well to stay tuned. All right, be patient, go through every step. I bet you at the end of this course you shall be a pro using Power BI. I don't know why Python is coming my mouth, because I work mostly with Python for data analysis and visualization. But for this course, I bet you, if you follow my steps, okay, this, I know the tutorial might not be that kind of elaborate as you want to see a different pattern. What I have learned over the years, I learned everything, almost everything on my own. So I understand the struggles I went through watching different videos, courses, okay? So I am trying to see how to minimize everything to the barest minimum for anyone to understand and also implement, okay? But I bet you after this course, you will be a pro in Power BI. So thank you for watching this chapter 2. So as we go forward to chapter 3 and do the better way to do data modeling before we do our data transformation. Thank you and see you in our next chapter. All right, see you. Welcome back to chapter 3 of this our course today, full course on Power BI. So in chapter 2, let's go and look at what we did. So in chapter 2 rather, we're able to look at data modeling, how to connect two tables together. Though the way I showed us was the wrong pattern because I was connecting many to many. And I promised that before we start chapter 3, which is data transformation, I'm going to show us the better way on how to do or to connect your tables together the right way. Okay, so in this chapter, I'm going to start with looking at how to do data modeling the right way. Then we now move into data transformation. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and import our data. Okay, so now since you've known that this is the best way to get your data set from get data, all right, but that's notwithstanding, you can also, since we have Excel here, you can as well click here to do what, to import your data from Excel. All right, why I disabused this process at the beginning point was because as a beginner we need to understand the right way to do things. Now as you go along, you now look at the short ways or the shortcut on how to do your work smarter. All right, so you can as well get any of these data set here, but it's limited because once you come to get data, you have various other ways of getting your data set, okay, outside Excel, SQL, paste data into the blank page, or using a sample data set. This sample data is an inbuilt data set by Power BI for demo purposes for beginners like you to do what to use in learning. If you don't have a data set, you can leverage on Power BI inbuilt data set. So let's go ahead and import our new data set, which are prepared with just few columns and rows for this tutorial. All right, so let's go ahead and click on get data from Excel. It's going to take us to our computer. So this is a sample data I've created to show us the right way. You click on it and you come down here and click on open. So it's going to load this data set into this navigator pane. All right, so we have two tables. We have the first table is product details and the second table is sales data. So we're going to mark it, and it's going to show, like I said, it's just few columns and few rows just for the demo for this course. Now this is what I need, and you also go to sales data and you also look at it. Now you go ahead and do what, and load your data. All right, so you're going to wait for it to load these two tables into our data pane. All right, okay, because the data set is just small, contain just few columns and rows, so it was really fast. All right, so when you look at this our data pane, all right, we have the two columns here, all right, two tables rather. Now if we go to our table view, you want to view this data set. Now this is the first page of it, the first table, product details. So this is what we are having. Now if I go to the second, sales data, it's still going to show us this way. So this is how you can as well view your data using table view in Power BI. Okay, so now our emphasis is just to do what, to connect our data, our tables together. You go to model view. Now by default, once you are loading, depending on the number of tables you are importing into the Power BI, working platform. So it's going to look for a way automatically connect your data, your tables together. But if you have tons of tables, like you have 5, 10 columns, it's not all that Power BI is going to connect for you. All right. So don't always forget that data modeling is all about looking at how to connect all your tables together to have a connection, so that when you are doing your navigation or you are building your visuals, you don't run into error or having issue with it. So by default, Power BI has connected this to us. Okay, this is what I was trying to let us know, that it's supposed to be one to many, not many to many. So this star asterisk stands for many, and this one, okay, I'm going to go ahead to do or to delete this connection, so that I want to show us how to do it from scratch. All right, so now looking at this, just in case you load your data set and maybe you have more than 2 columns, two tables rather, maybe you have like 5 tables, sorry about that. Now it's not all that Power BI will connect. All right, so there are some tables that will not be connected automatically, so you need to navigate to your data, your model view here, and do what, and connect the data set or the tables that were not connected automatically by Power BI. So this is how you find it. Others may be connected. You see an arrow, which we are going to see in a short while. Okay, so if you look at this table, all right, so this sales data tends to have more data than these product details. Okay, in product detail we just have category, price, product ID, and product name, while in sales data we have customer name, price, product ID, quantity, sales date, sales ID, and total amount. So what we want to do is to connect these two tables together. Now, like I said, in connecting or doing data modeling, you need to look at what columns or what row. Let's say there is column that would be used to connect these two tables together. All right, so if you look at my product details, I have category, price, product ID, and product name. In sales data, I have customer name, price, product ID, quantity, sales date, sales ID, and total. So there are 2 columns here that I can use in connecting. One, I can use this product ID to connect to this product ID. I can also use this price to connect to this price in this sales data, but I'm going to use product ID because product ID cut across all of this table. Okay, so what you need to do, just come to the table you want to connect to, the main table. For me, I'm going to use this sales data as my main table, right? So you look at the table or the columns that are the same, that I like. All right, so for me, product ID in my product details is same thing as product ID in my sales data. All right, so I'm going to click on this product ID in my product details. Just click on it, don't leave the mouse. Okay, drag it and place it on the same product ID in sales data or in the second table. All right, so it's going to show you now. Initially in the first tutorial, all right, we had it here as many to many, but here you're saying, and here we had by default it was giving us as both. All right, but the right way was supposed to be single. All right, so now we are connecting one table, one column to reference many columns in the next table. Okay, that's what we are doing right now. All right, so, and there's no error. The last video, the last chapter, we had errors popping out here for us. Okay, but for this there is no error. We are connecting one to many, which is the right way. All right, so you're going to go ahead and do what, and save. It's going to initialize. Okay, now as you can see now, the connection have been successful. Now if you look at this is what connects. If you hover to this, you are going to see what connects the two tables together. For me, product ID is what connects the two tables together. Now you see this, that this is one is saying that is one column here is used, and here you see many to reference all of these columns. So it's one to many. Don't always forget that. Do one to many. As a beginner, do one to many. So this is our connection. We are able to do what? Successfully connect our data, the tables together. So this is how you can do data modeling. So if you have more than just one or two columns, two tables, you can as well look at every of the columns, tables rather, and ensure that you look at the columns that reference each other and just click, drag it, and do what? And connect to that, okay? You can also go ahead and click here and come to where we have here price and also do the connection. You say many to one, okay? It's still good, all right? You can go ahead and click on OK. So we now have double connection. Here is many and is referencing just one here. But if you connect from product details to sales, it's supposed to one to many. But the many to one is a reverse of one to many. But what I want you to always ensure you disabuse is connecting many to many, okay? So I'm going to go ahead to delete the second one, all right? So I don't need, so this one connection product ID will do a better job for us. So this is how you can do what? Do your data modeling. So let's dive into our chapter 3 of this course, which is data transformation. Now, for you to have a better view or a better presentation in your data, all right, you need to transform your data. That is where data analysis now comes into play. So you must first of all clean your data. You must transform your data. So there are certain parameters which you consider when you are working or you're building a dashboard or doing data analysis using Power BI. Number one, you are going to look at if you are to remove or you are going to add columns, if you are to split or to mesh columns together. You are going to check for data type, check for duplicate values, and also check for what? For null values. So in this chapter, we are going to transform this data, all right? So if you hover to our table view, I want to use this sales data, for example, all right? So here, if you look at this customer name, we have blank space. And when you come down to quantity, we have another one blank space. If you come to price, we have one null value, a blank space. If you come to total amount, we have two columns that nothing is there, okay? But that is not what we want to do for now. For now, what we want to do is how to remove column, all right? So for you to do data transformation, okay, you need to do what? To hover to your home, all right? Now, you see here at your ribbon, you see transform data. Click on it. Now, you're going to click on what? Transform data, all right? It's going to open another interface. This is what we call Power Query Editor. It's just like if you are a good Excel user, you will agree with me that this is the same thing as Excel, okay? This is what we call Power Query Editor in Power BI. So here it can help us to do what? To transform our data before loading or before doing our data visualization or presentation. Now let me walk you through the areas we are much interested in. If you look at my left hand side where we have these queries too, it's telling us that we have two tables, okay, two queries to run. Now the product details and the product data, these are our two tables that we have loaded. Now in my right hand side where we have properties, and we have a name. If I want to change the name of this product details, okay, this is my table, I can come here and change it as instead of product detail, I just leave it as product. Okay, I'll be able to change. All right, now when you come down to apply steps pane, all right, now this apply steps is going to show us every step. Whatever we are going to do here is going to show us here, all right. It's going to outline it every step. You can edit, you can delete, you can remove it. So everything you are going to do, any change you are going to make in your data set, okay, is going to reflect here. That is what is called applied steps. So every step we apply in this Power Query Editor in Power BI is going to show us here. Okay, it can also serve as a trace or as a tracker. If you have maybe a company contacted you to do what, to transform their data for them, you can use this as a track or to trace where you found errors in the data set. So this is where you see all your steps. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the first in our list. We want to look at how to remove column, how to split, and also how to merge column. These are three different things. Now, how to remove columns. For example, if I go down and I don't like this quantity, all right? For example, I don't like this quantity. How do I get to remove this? All I need to do, just hover your mouse to the quantity and click on it, all right? Just click on it. It's going to highlight the whole of this column for you and the rows, all right? Now, all you need to do is just to right click here, right click. Now, you see here, you see remove. Okay, if I go ahead and click on this remove, that column is gone. All right, so now when you come to this our apply step, like I told us that this apply steps is going to record every step, every action taken for this particular data transformation. So if you look at here, we have removed column. So we are able to remove the quantity column. It's no longer here. All right, so but maybe I made a mistake for removing that column. How do I get my column back? That is why Power BI has done much better to give us these steps where we can either remove or we can edit. So we can come here, you see this X, all right? You can go ahead and click on this X. It's going to do what? To remove this data for us, okay? It's going to remove or to is going to rephrase everything we did. So like I was saying, that if I made a mistake and I want to rephrase back, to reverse or I want to add back the column, all I need to do is to come back to this place. You see, just watch at my mouse pointer. All right, so you go ahead and click on this X. All right, you click on this. So my quantity column has returned back. So this is why we need this apply step. Whatever changes you make in your columns, in your data, is going to reflect here. You can change it or you can as well leave it at that. That is how to do what? To remove columns. Now, what if I want to do something like let's go to our product data where we have customer name. Okay, sales. Okay, we have customer name. Now, if you look at this customer name, there's nothing like first name and last name. It's just John Doe, John Smith, John Doe, Mary Johnson, and Robert Brown. What if I want to split my columns? I want to make it first name and last name. Every step you make, you must first of all highlight that column that you're working with. Okay, so data transformation is one of the, let me not say the most important aspect of Power BI, but it is very important that, in fact, this determines the beauty of your work. So if you fail this part, data transformation is very wide, it's very broad. I'm just giving us the basis to get us to start working with Power BI. Okay, if you want to do data transformation in Power BI, is a very lengthy topic, okay, but I'm just giving us the basics and I'm just going straight to the point to show, because like I said, in this course I don't want to bore you with much grammar, much speaking, or taking to different area. I'm just going to give you what you need and how it ought to be. Okay, I'm simplifying everything for you to get along with this course. So I want you to start building your dashboard immediately as you finish this course, or as you go along, you build alongside with me, implement everything you see me do, then you can as well build your own first dashboard at the end of this course. All right, so now you go ahead and click on the customer table. All right, this customer named column. All right, click on it. Now you right click. You can as well use all this data transformation, come to view, tools, add columns, and the rest. So like I said, I don't want to confuse you. You know, I learned all this. I took pains to learn all these things, and I'm sure to find the possible shorter way to ensure that my students will get along. You can as well navigate all this on your own. As you are learning, as you're working with Power BI, you get to navigate through this ribbon and you get acquainted with each of these tools. But I'm giving you the simplest form to start Power BI almost immediately. So what we want to do, we want to split the columns into two so that we can get customer name John and Doe as separate columns. Go ahead and right click. Now you go ahead to do what? To find where we have split. All right. So when you come here, you see we have split column. Now splitting means you want to separate the columns into two. Now you come here, it's asking you, how do you want to split? Is it by delimiter, by number of characters, by position? I'm going to split this by delimiter. All right, you go ahead and click by delimiter. Now you just wait. Now it's going to ask you, select or enter a delimiter. Now this delimiter is asking, what criteria do you want to split this data? Is it that you want it to be, you want to add a comma, you want to add a space, or what? So select and enter. Just, there's a drop down menu. Okay, if you want a comma, you want equal sign, but me, I want what is space. All right, I go ahead and click on that. Okay, now leftmost delimiter is talking about the left part of it. All right, so let's just go ahead and hover around. Let's just click this and say okay, and okay it. Okay, fine. Now as you can see, we have customer name 1 and customer name 2. So we have been able to do what? To split this customer name into two. We now have John and Doe instead of John Doe in the same point. Okay, now if you come here, you now say, we say change type 1. First, we splitted the columns by delimiter. All right, and say change type 1. Okay, so this is the splitting and give a change. So this is everything we did for this column. Now let's quickly look at how we can rename this column. For example, I want to change this customer name 1 to first name or last name. I'll just go and click on it, right click, and you come down, check for where you can have rename. All right, so you just need to take, so rename. Okay, just click on it. Now you can now type what you want. That's okay, I want to use it as first name. Now we now have, sorry, did not spell it well. Let's rename it as again. It's supposed to be R before ST. All right, now do same for customer name 2. Right click, come here, say rename. I want last name. All right, so this is how you can be able to do what? To split your columns, and as well do what? Rename your column. This is what we call data transformation. All right, so the next thing we need to do now is to look at how we can merge columns. Now we splitted these two columns. They were at first, they were one column. We had to split it into first name and last name, but we want to merge it together. All right, so what do we need to do? As usual, you also come here and click on it, right click. Okay, you see an option that talks about merge. Okay, let's just go one by one. Let's go ahead. If we cannot have it here, we now go to the ribbon and look at how we can merge. Alright, so we don't have it here, but we can as well go to our ribbon. Alright, go to column, and we are going to search for how to merge, transform. The mesh column is not highlighting. It's supposed to have to add columns, mesh columns. Let's see, it's not highlighting. Add columns, mesh, view. All right, so we'll come back to this. I don't know why it's not highlighting for us to merge. All right, sorry. Okay, sorry. All you need to do, you need to select the two columns you want to merge together. Okay, I was selecting just one. How you can select these two columns? Click on this. Now go to your keyboard, press Ctrl, and you click on this other one. Now you see that if you come to transform, add column rather. This merge column have now highlighted. You can as well right click. Once you right click, you can now also see where to say merge columns. Okay, so what we want to do now, we want to merge these two columns together because it was in one column. All right, we now have to split it into first name and last name. So we also want back to do what, to merge these columns together. You go ahead and select the two. Like I say, once you click on the first table, the first column, you press your control key in your keyboard and you also click the second column. All right, so you can come to add the column. You see merge, you click on it, or you can as well, in any of the two columns, you right click, you come down, you're going to see where we say merge columns. So let's go ahead and click on merge columns. Okay, now it's going to ask you the separator. How do you want it to be separated? All right, you go ahead and click the drop down menu. So I want a space. You can also use as a comma. I need a space to separate the two. Now you can now go ahead and change the name instead of leaving it as merge, because it's now a new column. Let's change the name from merge to, let's say, back to customer underscore name. You now hit on enter. Now you see that we'll be able to do what, to merge the two first and last name together. We now have it here as what, customer name. So this is how you can merge your data. All right, so the next thing we need to look at now is how to check data type. Like I'm a programmer with Python. We know we have what we call data types. Now for every of this data, there's a data type. All right, so how do you get to know the data type for your table? All right, so if you look at this sales ID, you see 1 2 3. So this is the data type for this. Okay, this is the data type. You can click on that data type, that 1 2 3 4, and change to any other data type. Sometimes Power BI might not be that effective. It might change a text column into a date column. So when you check at this data type, you can refine it, fine tune it to suit your kind of data type that you want to work with. So, but for this course, for this my data Power BI was able to do a great job. Okay, so when I come here, all right, I see 1 2 3. That is the data type. So I don't need to do anything there. If I come to this product ID, it's telling me that it's P001 is a text. If I want to change it now to a whole number, it's giving me an error, okay, because it's not a whole number. All right, so that is, we're going to fix this error right now. So we are going to change it back to ABC, which is text. I replace current. I say okay, yes. So now, so Power BI was smart enough to detect that this is not a whole number. Okay, so you go ahead and look at your customer name is a text. This is a text. Okay, so it's correct. You also go to your sales date and check. Okay, this is giving us as calendar, so that this one is okay. There's nothing you can change. And quantity is 1 2 is a whole number, and price is a whole number, and the rest. So our data type is correct. So this is how you can check your data type in your Power BI. So the next thing we are going to look at now is how to look at duplicate values in our data set. If you look at these apply steps, we change a type. Okay, we splitted our columns by delimiter. We change a type. We rename a column. We merge column. So this is all the steps we are able to do for now. All right, so we are going to look at how to check for duplicate values in your data set. All right, so if you come to this, let's look at where we can have a duplicate value. Okay, let's go to product and see if you're going to have a duplicate notebook, pen, ruler. Okay, let's stick with our sales data. Let's check for duplicate values. Okay, a value that ought not to be so. Okay, we have John Doe and John Doe, and we have Mary Johnson, and we have Jane Smith and Jane Smith. So John Doe and Mary Smith, these are two different, they are the same names, okay? Just in case we are not looking at, we don't want duplicate values, okay, to appear, or columns to appear in our data set, we can as well go ahead and do what, and transform this column. All right, but in a case you're working with more than 10, 15, 20 columns, and you're wondering, am I going to be going one by one to check for duplicate values and the rest? The answer is no. There's a shorter way. Like I said, I'm not going to bore you with much talk and the rest, just going straight to the point to show you how you can navigate and get your results as fast as possible. Now, just come with me to view. Now click, if you see, you will see we want to check for the data quality, okay? You want to check for your column quality or data quality. Once you click on this column quality, it's going to navigate, it's going to tell us everything about this column, all right? It's going to say, sorry, if you look at valid, it's 100%, error 0, empty 0. So in our next, the next thing we're going to look at is how to as well look at for null values. But with this column quality, it has already given us all the errors we need to work with. So it has been able to tell us that, okay, in this column, sales ID, the validity is 100%, no error, no empty. Same thing for product ID, same thing for, okay, let's just be navigating. Now, if you come to quantity, we are at 86% validity, error 0, but we have empty 14%. It therefore means that we have null values. When you come here, you see that we have a null, no data is inside of it. You also navigate through, you also see that in our price, we have at 86% valid and empty as 14%. All right, so this is how you can check for data quality. Another way as well you can check for this is when you come to the same view. You see we have here column profile. Click on it. All right. Okay, so you're going to click on a column first. Okay, so it's giving us the profile of the column. Now we have count 7. This is the total columns, rows, which is 7. Error 0, distinct 7, unique 7, NaN 0, mean, and this data is good. Okay, as you can see that the charts are okay. You can as well look at the second one. All right, the second one, product ID. You see that we have count 7, errors 0, empty, nothing empty. But when it comes to distinct and unique, it therefore means that they are not distinct. All right, it therefore means that there are duplicate values. What we are looking at here is duplicate values. So how do we know? Is P001, P001. So this P001 appears twice here. So that is why the data is not distinct. Okay. Now, but for the error, the empty, no value, but for the distinct, this is what we are looking at. This is what we want to do. Okay. This is what we are looking at to check for duplicate value. You go to column profile and you're going to see the distinct here. Okay. Now, when you go back to the customer name, you see that we have count 7, no error, no empty. But when it comes to distinct, they therefore mean that there are duplicate values. So this is how the easiest way for you to check for duplicate values in your data set. You see we have John Doe and John Doe. We have Jane Smith and Jane Smith. So these are all what we need to look out for. Okay. So when you go to your sales or sales date, you know, we also have count 7. We have distinct 6 and unique. So they are the dates appears twice. Okay, but we can ignore this because it is a date column. All right. So that is how you can as well go ahead and do what and prepare your data set. So now, having done this, how then do we remove this error duplicate values? Let's start with the name. Once you come here, you go to column profile. All right, you can as well come here to this drop down menu. You see that we have empty space. Sorry, we're looking at duplicate. Sorry, duplicate. All right, so how do we remove this? All we need to do is just go to the column that you found out that we have duplicate names. Right click and search for how you can remove. See, remove duplicate. Once you click on it, it will remove duplicates. All right, it has been able to remove all duplicates, so we don't have any duplicates anymore. You see that we have unique values. We have John Doe, John Smith, Mary Johnson, and Robert Brownson. Now if we go ahead and do this our column profile, you see that we have count 5, distinct 5, unique 5, so no more duplicate values. You can do this for all of your columns. You can come here as well, you right click and you remove what duplicates. Okay, and if you look at our apply steps, all these steps are being applied here. Okay, everything you are doing, you can undo it here or you can leave it as that. All right, so this is how you can remove duplicate value. Now you can also look at the last thing we're going to look at is how to remove to check for null values and also remove null values. Null value means that the spaces, the columns are empty. Like you look at here, we have an empty column in line 3. We have empty column, so we need to do what to fix this. How do we, like I said, you don't need to go ahead and be looking one after the other. You need to just come here to your view, and you come to quality, column quality, you click on it. So it's going to tell us by the column quality. Our sales ID is doing well, our product ID is doing well, customer name is doing well, sales ID is doing well. Where we have an issue now is quantity, where we have empty at 20%. So we want to work at this. So just go ahead and click on this column, right click, come here, up here, click on it, just click, right click, want to remove null values. So all you need to do, you can replace values. Okay, you can either remove or you can do what? Replace. All right, so for me, I want to, okay, just wait a bit. Replace values. All we need is the null values. Duplicate columns, remove other columns, remove. We want to look at how to remove this null value. If you click here, you see that we have null. This is the null we are having. You can right click here and do what? And remove it. Okay, we have removed our null, but it is not looking good, so we need to go back and remove this process and connect it back. All right, so select all. Want to remove just the null. How do we remove this? Okay. All right, so how we need to deal with null value. All right, so just go to the column, like we have quantity. All right, so just have to, so what you need to do right now is right click and you come down to where you have replace values, click on it. All right, now value to find, you want to find null, just type in null here. Okay, now value to replace with, I can replace it with 0. All right, and you click on OK. Now when you look at here now, that null has become to 0. This is one of the ways you can replace your null value with a number. Okay, you can deal with null values. You can as well come to this customer name, right click, and you come here and look for replace values. You replace this, you find for what? You can do double quotes to show it's empty. You now say okay, George, and you click on OK. Let's see if that works. That didn't work. All right, so let's see how we can add value to there. Let's you can fill no. Okay. All right, so we'll come back to this for now. All right, we'll come back to this on how to deal with this blank. All right, you can select this blank. Nothing is here. You can drop this column totally. Let's see what we can do here. Nothing is here. We cannot remove duplicates. Okay. All right. So we'll basically come back before the end of this course. We'll come back to address this issue, how to work with this. All right. So a quick one. Let me show you one thing. All right. So if you want to look at your duplicates or null values, if you navigate to this view, come to this column distribution. Once you click on it, now it's going to give us a distribution, a distinct. Okay, now you have distinct 5 and 5, distinct 5 and 5 unique, 5 distinct, 5 unique, and the list goes beyond. Then when you come here, we have 4 distinct and 4 unique. Okay, this 0 is what differentiates this. Okay, there's a 1, there's a drop in that. You have 5 distinct and 5. So what we are looking at is basically using at what numbers that are duplicates. Here we have 4 and 4. So this 1 and 1 is a duplicate, but here we can leave it. It's not an error because this is a distinct a number. Maybe that is just a figure for this. Okay, this is not really an error, but basically what this does, that this column distribution is showing us the distribution of our duplicate values. All right, so that is that. We can also come here because I can see that we have no value here in our price and total. You can as well go ahead and replace this value. Okay, we can replace the value of null to, let's just say, and use 0 because we don't have a number. Let's just use it with 0. Okay, we can also come to total and say replace a value. What are we replacing? We say null, value to find, null. And what to replace, let's just use 0. Okay, fine. So this is how we can work with our duplicates and also null value. So I'll come back to how to work with this blank space because nothing to find. If we highlight it and come to replace, we cannot replace because there's no value to find here. Okay, I'll come back to this and I'll show us a better way to fine tune this and also to delete the column totally. So I hope you are finding good use for this course. Please do well to stay to the end. Like I said, I'll show us a bonus on how to do better things using Power BI. If you look at our apply steps, these are all the steps of things we applied. Okay, these are everything we did. We splitted our column by delimiter. We renamed our column. We merged column. We removed duplicate. We replaced values, and also we replaced 3 columns with new values. So after you are done, all right, all you need to do is to save this, all right, so that you can reflect to our normal Power BI data set. Okay, this is all you need to do. That's all you need to do. After that, you can just come back and you can close this. All right, do you want to apply your changes now? You say yes. So it's going to apply all these changes to our Power BI. So it's loading our sales data, it's evaluating, and it's going to create another for us. All right, so basically this is how we can deal with Power BI and Power Query. So I hope you're finding use. So we started by looking at how data transformation. We were able to look at how to remove column. We splitted columns. We also merged the columns. We checked for data type. We checked for duplicates, and also checked for null values, and also we address those issues. So in our next course, in our next chapter, we are going to go into the main core for this video, which is DAX function and data visualization. So please do well to put your comments on the comment section. Let me know the areas you need me to address, and I hope to hear from you, and also go ahead and start implementing everything I've taught you today so that you can also become a Power BI guru. So thank you. See you in our next chapter. Welcome back to the last chapter of this course, which is DAX function and data visualization. I hope you enjoyed our chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So, without any further ado, let's dive into our DAX function. So the first thing we need to do, I need to import my data set. Alright, so it's still an Excel data set which I want to import. So I'm going to get my data set. I want to use sample data. So I'm loading it into my Power BI. Okay, it's just this demo I want to use. Alright, so this is the main focus for this course, data visualization, and also I will show us how to add styling to our chart. Okay, so just stay tuned. This is the most important part for this course. All right, so every part, every section, chapter is important, but every other part was for this particular last part of the video. All right, so we have been able to successfully loaded our data set into our Power BI. You can go ahead and view your data set. So this is your data set. Okay, I'm using a demo, and this is the table, and you go ahead to data modeling. So this is how it's looking because it's just one table, so we cannot do any data modeling here. All right, so let's go back to our data view. All right, so report view rather. So what we need to do now is to go ahead and create some DAX function. Okay, what is DAX function? DAX stand for data analysis expression. Maybe I can go ahead and do another column here. Okay, so that can show us what. Let me write it. Okay, so I can say what is DAX. Alright, so what is DAX? So DAX simply stands for data analysis expression. So DAX stands for data analysis expression. Now, what I'm also wondering, I know you might be wondering, because there is nothing like E in this DAX, it's just the AX. So this E is silenced. Okay, so this X becomes so announced. So that is why I say data analysis expression. So this is how what data DAX stands for, data analysis expression. So what is data analysis expression, DAX for short? What does it do? It's just like Excel. No, we use it to do calculations. You can use it to do sum, count, if functions, switch, and calculate, and the rest. So in this course, I'm going to show us 5 basic DAX functions which will be working on your every day-to-day analysis. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we are going to look at the first DAX function, which is sum. So before we now start doing building our chart, our dashboard, we need to do some DAX operation. So one of the things you need to also do is that you need to understand your data. Okay, it is your understanding of your data you're working with that gives you the ability to do what, to create functions or to do some calculations using Power BI. So for me, I've already have some challenges or problems I want to solve using DAX. Well, it might not really be that fancy, might not be what you really want, but it's just a demo. You can go ahead and use your data set and also study your data set and know what exactly you want to do with it. So there are various ways you can go ahead and start doing your DAX functions. I will look at my left hand side, you see DAX query view. If you go ahead and click here, it's telling you DAX query view here, did you take it all, or you can write your DAX function here. But this is not where I want. This is just a new way that Power BI has introduced, but I'll go with the traditional way. All right, that is more simpler and easy for us to navigate. So the first DAX function we are going to write is sum function. Okay, open up expand your data, your table. All right, so the first DAX, we want to do the total sales of price. This is the total sales. All right, we want to do a DAX function to know the total sales price for our sales price. We want to sum everything Okay, so I'm going to do, and this is another way you can use to create new columns in your data set. Let's go ahead. So how to find your DAX function? All right, if you come to modeling, all right, you come here, you see new measure, all right, or if you come to home, you come here as well, you see where we have new model, all right. So you have a new measure. So what we are doing here is just to write new measures to our data set, all right. So you are looking for new measure. It's either you go to modeling, you have here as new measure, or you do quick measure, or you come back to home. Right here you can have here, you see new measure, or alternatively, and mostly used, just locate the table you want to work with. Okay, for me, I want to work with sales price. Right click on it and you see here a new measure. All right, just click on it. So it's going to give you an interface like this. Okay, measure. So here basically what you want to do is to add the name of the measure. For me, I want to use total. Remember what you're doing here, you're adding a new column to your data set. So I'm going to show us how we're going to do it in GFit. All right, so I'm going to say total sale price. Okay, there's always an equals to. All right, so this function you're going to use is sum, and you can either use your tab on your keyboard or you go ahead and click it manually. Now you're going to reference here, it gives you the list of all the columns. All right, all the columns you have in your data set. All right, these are all the columns, but for me, I'm looking for sales price. You can go ahead and type sales price, and here you are. It's in table demo, and this is the column here. You go ahead and click it. Now you close it with the close bracket. All right, you go ahead and click on enter. So when you look at here, you see we have a new function known as total sales. Okay, you can, let's assume these figures we need to put the comma. All right, you can go ahead and click on comma. You go ahead and enter it back. All right, so let's go ahead and look at a table view. Now I'll be doing this side by side. All right, now if you want to, there are ways you can view this. You can either use a card. This is a card, it's where you have 1 2 3 to view this. All right, so you can use a card and you bring this and put it here. So we are now having at 83,000. This is the total price for your total price of sales, total sales price. So this is a cut. All right, you have it here. Now the second thing we need to do is to look at the second function is count function. All right, so like I said as earlier, you can also come here and say new measure, or you come to modeling and you have new measure, or alternatively you can as well click here and do new measure. So there will be an interface for you to do what, to do your analysis. All right, so just stay with me. You can name it what you want. I want to name it as count of unit price equals to. All right, I'm going to say count you tap. Now what am I looking at? So I'm totally looking at total unit price. So when you come navigate here, you see you have total unit price. It's either this is unit sold. All right, unit sold rather. You can as well come here and search for unit sold. Okay, you can come here, see this is your unit sold, and this is the table here. All I need to do is just to go and click on that unit sold, and you close your bracket. So I can also as well you go ahead and either you commit it here, this good you are having here, this green, you commit it. I can as well go and put comma. All right, and enter as well. So we have been able to do two measure. When you look at here, you see that we have a new measure. Now the measure comes with a kind of a logo like a calculator. That is how you differentiate a column and a measure. So for our measures, you will see something like a date or a calculator. Not really a date. This is a date, is different, but this is a measure. It looks like calculator. So I'm going to put it in a cart. Now you can as well put it in a table form. Okay, I'll show us everything in this. So I'm combining DAX function and visualization. All right, so let's build the card first. Okay, so I'm going to put my card. Go ahead and click it. It must be highlighted. Then you come here and click and drag it and place it there. So we have, this is count of unit price is 700. All right, you can navigate it, you can resize it. So I'm going to show us how to add styling to our views. All right, so this is what we have here. Now the next thing we need to look at is division. That is, you want to divide something either by percentage. All right, maybe you want to get the percentage of total profit or total sales of count of units sold. Okay, you want to get the percentage or you want to divide it. Okay, you still need to go where and say, okay, let me use here, say new measure. Remember, we are using measures. That is how to do your DAX function. You can give it a name. I can say count. Sorry, we're looking at division. All right, I'll say percentage of unit sold equals to, all right, I say divide. Now many persons use this forward slide like this. I don't want you to use this. This will fail you in a long run. So to be on the safer side, always use divide. All right, so you enter. What are you dividing? I want to divide my total sales. You go ahead and type your column name. I'm looking at total sales price. All right, you do comma, and you also look at what your unit sold price. All right, then you go up, you close it with your open and close bracket, and you enter. All right, so now it's loading, and if you look at here, we now have percent of units sold. Now you go ahead, you want to make it a percentage, go back here, click on it, it will highlight, you add this percent, and that is all you need to do. Now let's as well put it in a cart. This cart means what you are seeing here, want to place it on top of a dashboard, because we are building a dashboard. This is how to build a dashboard. All right, so we are building a dashboard right now. All right, so go ahead and take and bring your cart and go to percentage, and you fix it there. So you now have a percentage of units sold. All right, so this is how you can get your percentage. We are going to work on this very soon. Okay, let me just keep it here. We are going to fine-tune this to adjust the size and the weight of it. All right, so for now, let's just go ahead and do all our cards, all our functions. So the next one we need to do now is if function. Now, if you are familiar with Python or with Excel, when we are using a conditional statement, if this is equals to this or greater than this or less than this, give us this, otherwise display this. So this exact same thing we are doing here in Power BI. This is how to write your DAX function. All right, so let's go back here and say, okay, new measure. We are using an if function. All right, so the if function we're going to look at, we are going to look at the total sales. Say total, capital letter, total. You can use capital letter, you can use small letters, you can use space, you can use underscore. Power BI accept all of that. Okay, spacing, double spacing, percentage, whatever you want. I can say total sales. All right, total sales price equals to, all right, what I want to do now, I say if. All right, you enter. It's a conditional statement. What you want to do now, if you look at it, asking you for the logical test result if true and result if false. Okay, it's going to accept three parameters or three expressions. Okay, the first thing we need to do is say if let's say our total sales price is greater or equals to 100. Now you say comma, you do either single or double quotes. When you are writing a text in programming in Python, this is a string, so it must be enclosed with the either single or double quotes. Okay, all right. So now what we want to say, okay, if total sales price is greater or equals to 100, give us that it is what? It is good. All right, you close this thing. Otherwise, you do comma. Otherwise, you say it is what? It is bad. You cover it. So when you go ahead and run this, all right, so you are able to do your a conditional statement. All right, now this is it. Now if I go ahead and bring a table like this, and I bring this, where's our if statement? Okay, total sales, and put it here. All right, so let's just go ahead, wait for it. All right, so let's just give some, let's say country, country, month name, and now let's bring this our total sales. All right, so if you expand this, our table, all right, you can now see that. All right, so this is, we are able to add a new column, and that column is what? Total sales price. And we use the conditional statement, which is if statement, to do what? To get if our this let's go ahead and go back. You say if our total sale price is greater or equals to 100, give us good, otherwise bad. And all of these were what? Were good. That's why we are having it here as good. So we don't have anyone that is less than 100. So if you look at here, we have good in our new column known as total sales price. So this is how you can get your if statement. Now there's other thing I want to show us. You can also have a nested if statement here. All right, so I'm going to just remove this. All right, now you can also as well say, okay, if total sales price is greater than 100 or equals to 100, now give us what? Give us good. All right, now you can also say comma, I say if, all right, total sales price, all right, is less than 100, comma, give us what? Give us as what? As bad. Okay, you can that is a nested if. You go ahead and run it, so it's loading. Now whenever you do a function or any adjustment, it's going to run through every of these already existed functions. All right, so if I bring back my table and I go back and say, okay, let me bring this, it's going to show us as good. Let me bring another, let's say country, and let's go ahead and bring another, let's say profit. Now if you go ahead and expand this, you're going to see that it's giving us as good. So none of this one is bad. But if I go ahead and adjust this a little bit, okay, to get greater than, let's say 1000, okay, let's say 1000, okay, let's go ahead and run this again. Now I want us to see where it's going to show as bad. Okay, bring back this hour and get the country and get our product and get this our function. Okay, is still good. So our none of it is less than 1000, so that's why we are having it as good. So let's go ahead and view our table. Let's look at total sales price. Okay, why is giving us as good? Because if you look at here, we're looking at total sales price is at 83,000. all right, so it's going to give us as good. None of one is bad. All right, so that is why we are having it as good. So you can use this if function in various ways in according to your niche or your data set. Okay, for me, this is my data set, so I'm using my function, my DAX function I created to reference to get the if statement. All right, so with that being said, let's move to another switch. All right, now the difference between switch and if statement is that, if you are doing nested if statement, you go ahead and be doing if. But if you are using a switch, it's very easy to implement. All right, so this is the last function I'm going to show you. There are other functions like calculate and sum x and the rest, so that you can also as well as look at other videos, learn that on your own. But I'm giving the basics to get you started and to build a professional dashboard with these 5 functions. Okay, so now the last one is we're going to look at switch. All right, so for switch, we're going to go and say new function or new measure rather. I'm going to say this is for switch. For switch is a bit complicated. You go ahead and say switch. This one, not sample x, but this switch. All right, you go down. Now you press your shift and enter at the same time. It's going to bring you down to another column. You now say if it is true. All right, this is a true, and you bring it down. You do comma and say our total sales greater than or equals to 100, all right, give us what? Good. You bring down and do comma again, same total sales greater than 1 million. Let's do 1 million 3 4 5 6. Give us as excellent. Okay, now you run down, comma again, total sales price, you say less than 100, give us as what? Poor. Okay, you go ahead and do what? And execute this. So if you look at here, we have a new major known as what? Switch. So if we go ahead and bring out our table again and bring some data, let's say country, let's say product, sales, and we bring this switch. Okay, let's expand this. You see that our switch, we have a new table, a new column known as switch. Our switch table is giving us that it is good because they are more than 1 million. All right, so it's going to execute the function that is above 100, not up to 1 million. If it was to be 1 million, it would have been excellent, but it's nothing. We don't have any data set that is any column that's less than 100. It would have said poor. So this is how you can do your DAX function using Excel. All right, sorry, using Power BI. So we are done with the DAX function. Now we are going to the main video, how to build our dashboard. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's assume I want to build a bar chart, okay, a cluster bar chart showing country and sales price. All right, country and sale price. So what you need to do, the first thing you need to do is to first of all pick your chart. It's either you use bar chart or use cluster column chart. This is a column chart, this is a bar chart. Okay, we can use column chart, and like I said, it must be highlighted like this. Now once it's highlighted, how do you know it's highlighted? You see these four edges, all right, for you to either increase or decrease. All right, now when you come down here, you see axis. We have x-axis and y-axis. All right, so I want to bring my country. Click on country, bring it into your y-axis. This is your y-axis, this, and this is your x-axis. You want your data, this data, to be at your left hand side, okay, vertically. If you want it to be horizontal, this is your x-axis. All right, for me, I want my country to be at my y-axis, and I'll bring the sales price into my x-axis. So we now have this, but I'll prefer to have okay, it's just the same thing. All right, but it's not giving us a good one. I can remove this and I bring let's say profit is too, all right, so profit is too big. Okay, I'm looking for something simple, something that will not stress us. Okay, I want to show something. Okay, let's say country, and I'll bring let's say segment. Okay, so this is better. All right, so this is how to build based on the kind of data you're building. So for me, I'm going to go with, now if you look at my y-axis, looking at the count of country. Now my x-axis is telling me the segment. All right, the segment of my country. So we have built our first chart. Okay, this is our column chart. I can change it to my bar chart. All right, I can change it to my cluster bar chart. This is how bar chart looks like, and this is how column chart. You can navigate to whichever one. I can change it to this. I can change to funnel. I can change to line or ribbon chart. I can change to line chart. I can change to this waterfall. So depending on your niche or what you want to build, or this is how you can navigate to any kind of chart. All right, so this is how you can build. Let's stick with column. All right, with our column chart. Okay, so we are able to build our first visuals. Okay, now the second visual I want to use is I want to build an area chart. Go ahead and click on it. Now we need two data. All right, two data. I can say, okay, I want to look at total sales here, And I want to look at the total sales by country. What is the total sales? Okay, this is a DAX function. Sorry, can't bring DAX function there. Okay, now country by, let's say, by profit x axis. All right, so this is how you can get that. Okay, this you are looking at country, count of country, and by profit. This is the profit by. Now if you look at our total sales price, this is so profit, this is how it is our profit. Okay, but let's look for something that is easy for us, something simpler. Okay, I don't want something too big for us. Let's use let's say product in our y-axis, and also let's look at the sales price. Let's look at by country. Okay, so this is my count of product, and this is by country. So this is a product by country, and let's go ahead and use a bar chart. All right, so I'm using column chart. Let's use bar chart. Okay, you can as well use funnel, or can use watermark. Let's use watermark. Okay, this is more preferable. Now when you are building your chart, okay, your data, the kind of data you are using should also determine the kind of chart you are selecting. All right, so me, I'm looking at count of countries, count of profit, and by country. So in this waterfall is giving us by step, okay, from the least to the highest, and it will sum it to us and give us as total. If you look at it, we have this what we call legend. This color green shows increase, red shows decrease, and blue total. So there's no decrease, all are increase. Okay, now this our waterfall chart that we have built. And one thing I want you to also know that Power BI is very responsive when it comes to data visualization. Now, if I click on one of these, it's going to every chart here is going to reference to this. All right, so every chart will reference to, if I click on this, it will reference to every chart. Okay, so this is very, very, very responsive. Like if you look at our table of content, while we're looking at the meaning of Power BI, we say it is what, and to create interactive reports and dashboards. So this is what it makes it to be interactive, that once you click on one, it can as well show us this. All right, so now let's go ahead and look at, let's build 4 charts. This is just how to build chart. The next thing I'm going to show us is how to polish our chart and make it look appealing to the eye. Okay, now also how to reduce the font size, font weight, colors, and the rest of the things. Okay, I'm going to walk you through all of that in this course. All right, so just stay tuned, just stay tight and listen. All right, so let's look at another one. Okay, I can go ahead and look at line charts. Okay, let me bring it here. We're going to be just 4 charts. All right, so let me go ahead and choose line chart. Okay, now I want to look at manufactured, and I want to look at the month name. Let's see. All right, so this is giving us the sum of manufactured, and this is the month name. So when it was manufactured, the sum of manufactured and the month name. So if you look at this by this chart, in month October there was a high manufacturing. So in December it dropped, June it dropped, and to April it drops. Now if you look at this as well, it's not giving us alphabetically. Okay, the month is not they are not numbered accordingly. Okay, there's a way we can as well change this numbering. Okay, the way it looks. All right, so that will be done in another. Okay, we can as well, there's a function here for month number. Okay, but we don't want that, we want the month name. Okay, we can as well sort it. So we are coming to when we want to work on our charts. I'll show us how to do it. All right, so let's do one more chart because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at how to do a donut pie chart or a donut. Let's look at this. All right, donut chart. Okay, now in donut we can just look at total sales price. You can as well look at the product. Okay, yeah, I know you have been seeing something like this. So this is what we call donut. Okay, this is a donut chart. Okay, we are looking at sum of sale price by product. All right, but you can also choose to use pie chart. Okay, pie chart can also go for this. So both, you click on it, highlight it, and change to pie chart. Now we are using pie chart. So pie chart and donut, they are almost the same thing. All right, so this is how to build your chart. Now for this, I think for now we are done with this. So now let's go ahead and see how we can build this and use these 4 charts to make a better dashboard. Now, how to add color to the, let's say, background color. All you need to do is navigate to where you have this format your report in visualization. Click on it, come to where you have Canva background. Click on it. Now the previous or the default color is white. You can go ahead and choose any color of your choice. Okay, I choose, let's assume I choose this white darker. Okay, let's use one white darker, 20% darker. Now it's not showing. All you need to do, come down here where you have transparency is at 100%. Please decrease it to at least 0%. Okay, now you can see that it's showing. All right, you can see that it's now showing at the background. All right, so that is lovely. All right, now the next thing we need to do, we need to decrease the size of this. Okay, so that we can make everything to look uniform and to be beautiful. Okay, you can as well add let's assume you want to add something like shapes. You can navigate to where you have insert. You come here to shapes. You can choose any shape. Okay, you can resize it. All right, you can resize it to what you want. Okay, I want to make it vertical here. Okay, you can go ahead and come to this styling. You come to fill. You can change the color to white. All right, and you can resize it to make it look a bit smaller. You can as well go ahead here and change come back here to shape, and here we have a rectangle. You can want to add rounded colors, rounded edges. You can say rounded. Okay, now if you look at it, it has a rounded shape. All right, so you can as well come here and you want to say you want to remove border. Okay, now no more border, no border attached to this. All right, so this is how you can add shapes. All right, you want to make your dashboard beautiful. All right, let's just go ahead and work a bit. I can duplicate this, Ctrl C and V on your computer, and I can drag this. Okay, I want to fill this point as well. Okay, bring it down. Okay, now if I want to write something here, okay, maybe I want to write something. All I need to do, I need to come here to my insect. Come here, you see text box. Now type anything you want to type. I want to say, okay, George tutorial dashboard. All right, now you have option to bold it. You can highlight it first. Okay, you can highlight it and you can bold it. You can centralize it, put it center. You can expand this, okay, to make it long and reduce this shape. All right, now you can bring it here. You can bring it here. We are building a dashboard. You bring it, you can, sorry, what's happening? Bring it here. Now all we want to do now, first we need to remove the background. How do you remove background? You come here to this effect and you turn off this background. Now if I bring this outside here, you see that it's no longer having that white background. Okay, now I'll now change this color. All right, so this a font color, I can change it to blue. All right, the font color I've changed. Okay, I can as well increase the font size. Okay, this is 10, I can increase it to like say 18. All right, so and increase this and also make this to be long. Please follow along. All right, though it's looking somehow, but as you practice you get to understand this, and I placed it here. All right, so we now have our title for this our dashboard, which is George tutorial dashboard. Okay, now the next thing we need to do now is to look at our cards. Like this card now, as it is too long, so I want to format this. How do you do that? You come back every time you want to change to format your chart. Okay, once you click on any either a DAX function or the chart itself, come to this pane. Okay, format your visual. Okay, click on it, choose visuals and also this general. Okay, for me I want to start with this. If I come here, I want to change the first one. I want to change the size of this. This is at 40. I want to change to 20. You see that it has changed. I can now resize this. Okay, I can now resize this. All right, so I can now resize this. Now if you come to the category label, which is this, it's at 12. I can bold it. You see it's bold. All right, I can change the color to blue. Okay, it's the color I've changed. All right, so and I can as well italize it, but I don't want to italize it. So this is how you can change. Now let's also look at how to put. Now as it is now, I want to add a rounded color or a rounded something to. Let's come here to. I can add a title. If you don't like this, you can remove this and add your own title. All right, so you can just turn on the title and you go ahead and type your title here. Now I don't want to add title. Effect, background, I can remove background. See that there's no more background. All right, now if you come here, I want to add border. You see that it has added border. Okay, this border, black line. All right, so I've added border. Come to general, effect. Okay, I've added border. I want to add shadow. Okay, now you look at it now, it's showing as a shadow. Okay, it's very transparent now. It's showing something different. Now I can go ahead and change the border color to something like blue. All right, you can just play and change what you want. So it's now blue. All right, so what we want to do again right now is to look at how we can. Okay, I think that's that for now. We can as well, I want to change the visuals. I want to change this, is too big. All right, so I want to change it. All right, now I can come back to here and I can say, okay, I want to change the color to, let's say, red. Okay, all right, so just follow along, just play along all this navigation stuff like that, and you see how it will. Once you implement here, it's going to show automatically. So we have been able to do one of these. All right, so we can adjust the size and the width of this right now. Okay, so we have our first card looking nice. Now we can, what I want to do now is I want to delete other cards. Okay, I want to delete other cards. No, I want to delete. Let me not delete them. Let me bring them back. Okay. I will as well do same thing. If you miss the first process, this how once you click it highlights. You come here to this your visualizations. You see the way we have here. Format your visual. Click on it. Come here to this call out value. Is looking at the inside value. I want to change to 20. The size will change automatically. Now I can change the color. I'm using red. Okay, you see the color of changing. I can bold it. All right, it's fine. So I did not bold this one. Let me bold it as well. Okay, now I can come down here now, go to your category label. It's at 12. Can change it to something like 9. All right, so that is done. Now once you're done with this, go to your general. You can on this and add a title, but I want this to be at the down part. Okay, I don't want to add a title at the up. But where we are working, focusing is on the effect. I want to switch off. I want to turn off this background. See, the background is off. Now I want to add border. Okay, we added border and I want to add shadow. All right, so that is how it's looking the same, but I want to change the border color for this. The border color I used was green, so you expand it. This greater arrow, you just click, you expand it. I want to change it to blue, and when you come here, you see that it is looking as blue. I want to add this count of unit color to be as same as this blue. Come here, come to general, come to effects, come to visuals, come to this category, and you change the color here to blue, and it's looking blue. You can bold it as well. All right, so we have added the second, we have fine-tuned our second cut. All right, so you arrange it. Now the next thing we need to do, we have one other card that I deleted, which I need to bring back, which is what? Total sales price. No, we have out of, okay, total sales price. All right, we also have another card known as percentage. Okay, let's not use this. No, let's not. This was if statement that we used. Okay, let's just work with this three card for now. All right, so please, I hope you are following along. If you are, please take notes. You can revisit this video and rewatch it over and over again. All right, so like I said, I'm doing this over and over so that you can also grab something. Click whatever you are working with. First of all, you need to click on it to highlight it. You see this four corner arrow which you can expand and decrease. All right, now come here to your visuals pane. All right, you see this arrow, it says format your visuals. Click on it. Now for you to get the size of this to be reduced, you come here to this your call out value. You change it. I'm changing to 20. That's my preferred. You can see it that reduce the price, the size. You can bold it and change the color. We are using the color is red with others. Okay, this is the color red. Okay, now we are done with that. Now let's go to the second one, categoric label. Go click on that drop down, change it. Okay, me, I was using 10. All right, you can bold it and you can also change the color. So we are using color blue. This is the blue. All right, so you can see. Now we also go to general. I said if you want to add a title at the top of this, okay, you can turn on this title, drop down and type the title, but for me, I don't want to give it a title. Okay, go to this effect, turn off this background. Now come down, you see where you have visual border. We have a border now, it's black. You can now drop down, change it to blue. You can increase the width, the weight of it, but let's leave it at 0 as others. Okay, now you come down to shadow. All right, to shadow and click shadow. You can as well change the color, but let's just leave it at this default part. Now this is how you can edit the other ones and we get what we had. So this is how we can add our cards. Then you can arrange it to be the same size with others. Okay, once you drag it, you see that it's giving you a mark, a red line, that this is where the other one stops. So I want it to be the same with others. Okay, you can see it can move it in the same line. All right, so this is looking beautiful. All right, so we don't really need this demo part of it. I can close this. All right, so that to make our work look nicer. Okay, I can bring it to here, bring this to here, and bring this a bit out of it. All right, so we are done with this. All right, so now let's add our chart. Let's format our charts. Okay, the first chart we're going to format is this, our bar line column chart. Okay, we are going to arrange everything to be like this. No, you're going to see it's going to look beautiful. All right, don't worry. Okay, these cards I'm going to remove you. Okay, all right, so for you to format, so everything we are going to do, we are going to use this first method for all of them. All right, for the column and the bar chart. So every chart have their own method of formatting. Now like I said, click on this count of country. It will highlight and everything here will also move for you. Now come to your visualization pane. Click on this pane. Now here we are having as x-axis and y-axis. You know your y and x-axis. Your y-axis is where you have this count of country. You have this count of product. You have this sum of manufactured. This is your y-axis. Your x-axis is this down part you're having. We have vertical and horizontal. So if I want to change the color of this count of country, I'll come to my y-axis. I drop it down. Now I see where you have here values. Okay, go ahead and open it. You see the size is 9 right now. If I increase it, you see it's increasing as I'm increasing it. All right, now I can bold it. This is what we are looking at. This is the value, these values. Now I can go ahead and change the color to red, and you see the color have changed, but I will leave it as default, okay, and I will reduce it, okay. But what I want to set is this title, this country, the title. Now if you come here, it's 9. If I increase it to 10, you see that it's increasing. If I go ahead and bold it, you see it's bolding, it has bolded, and I can change the color now to red. It has changed color. All right, so that is how you can change. Let's do same for this. Let's be doing it one after the other. This one is looking okay. You can bold it and you can change the color to red as well. All right, so we can as well come to this other one too and do the same thing to title. We can bold it, change the color to red. Okay, so now let's go back to our x-axis. So we are done with y-axis. Let's go to x-axis. Okay, the values are on. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at the title. Let's turn it on. Okay, it wasn't on. Let's turn our title on. Okay, sorry, here effect. We are still with visuals. Okay, our title is not on, so we don't have anything down. We don't have any. You can change the color of this. Okay, let's just say title. Okay, no title, no column title. We only have x and y axis title. Okay, now let's go to general. General is where you can turn off this your title. So if I turn it on, you see the title. You can drop it down. Now all you need to do, you can bold it and you can change the color to blue. Let me use blue. All right, and you can come here and centralize it. Now you can expand this as well. Okay, it's looking nice now. Now there's something you can increase the font size or you can reduce it to meet your need. All right, you can change the pattern, heading 1, heading 2. By default is heading 3. All right, so you can also change it here. Want to rename it, you can just clear it and rename it, but I don't want to rename it. Now you can come here as well and change the background. If I turn off this background, so we don't have any background again. All right, so but let's just leave it. Now if you come down, this what, okay, you see these grid lines. I want to off it, off all of them. I want to off all the grid lines. I want to off sorry, this one does not have grid line. I want to off this gray line. I want to turn it off. What's happening? Why am I always touching it? I want to off all these grid lines. So if there is grid line, okay, this does not have. All right, so we have turned off the grid lines, those lines that were showing at the center of it. So we have been able to remove all of that. Okay, now if you look at this data, you cannot really explain what it does. Okay, so we want to add values to this. Okay, let me format this as well. Okay, let's go to general. Let's go to title. I want to bold it. I want to change the color to blue. I want to centralize it here as well. All right, so it's looking nice. Let's do same for this. Okay, let's bold it and let's change the color to blue and centralize it, and let's do same for this. Let's bold it, change the color to blue and centralize it. All right, so it's looking nice. Okay, all right, so now what we need to do now is this. We want to always adjust it to be the same. All right, anyhow you want it to be for you. All right, so there is something we want to add. If you look at this data, it does not have any data in it. It's just a normal chart you're seeing. It does not represent anything apart from this bar chart, this pie chart, that you have 10K and the rest. And also this does not have any data at all. So we want to ensure that we add data to reflect here in this our bar chart and also column chart. All right, how do you do that? Click on it. Every time you want to do any change, always click on that particular chart. Come to your visualization pane, click here on this format your visuals. Now go ahead and locate where we have data labels. Turn it on. Now you can see that we have data. Now once you click on it, it will bring you down. Now how do you want it to appear? All right, so we want it to be inside out. Okay, the position, you say I want it to be inside in, but because some charts are this is hiding, all right, so we can just leave it as inside center. Okay, at the center, you see that we have it all at the center. All right, so you can as well go ahead and go to value. These values, you want to change the font size, it says increasing. All right, you can bold it, it's bolding. All right, you can change the color to red however you want it, but I'll leave it as default as white. Okay, so now you can do same for all of this. Here also I'm going to come to data and on it, so you can now see the data inside of here. All right, so I know this is just a demo data set, so it's not looking beautiful as it ought to. I just do a random just to show us how to create that dashboard. You can as well create your chart using what you want to do, right? So you can make it better. All right, so I can just go ahead, come to line. All right, this line, this is a line chart. Now how do you want the line style? I want it to be dotted. No, let's leave it at dashed, or let's just leave it at solid. Okay, now the width is, you can decrease it and you can also increase the width. Now interpolation type, smooth step, it has to go with steps. Okay, you can change it to after, before. You can go ahead and just smooth or linear, anyhow you want it to be. Okay, you can just go ahead, you can change the color here to something else, but I'll just leave it at this. Okay, you can change the color. Let's assume you want to change it to red or to this, you can change it. Alright, let's just leave it at that. Now you can as well come here and say millimeter, or you change it to what, to bevel, or let's just leave it at that round. So now that is for the line chart. Okay, every chart has its own. Now these markers, if you want to add dot at every level, what, as I'm navigating you are seeing dot, you want to add to apply that. Okay, you can apply marker to each of these, apply settings to category. No, not that marker, not really what I was thinking. All right, so let's move to general. You can look at this again. You can turn off the background, or you can leave the background to be on. Okay, so you can as well go ahead and do for others. Let's just add the data label for this one also. Okay, let's just go ahead and turn it on. I want to put it inside center. Okay, inside center. No, it's not working because of let's just leave it at auto, and we can change the background color to be something like red. Okay, now you can as well change, you can as well change the colors of these bars. Okay, now you can okay, you can come into columns. If you want to change this to, let's say, blue, and change decrease to, let's leave it at red, totals to like something black, you can as well change it. All right, so this is how you can do all of that. So you can take the spacing 20%, or you can increase it. So you see it will increase the, if you adjust it, it also adjusts for you. So just go ahead and just navigate through and play along with all of this. Okay, now let's do, if you look at this song of manufacturing, it's too long, the title is too long, so it's breaking. I don't want it that way, so I want to decrease the font size to 12. Okay, now it can now be at one level. All right, let's try to see how we can remove this background. Okay, can as well leave it. So but we can add border to this. You can just come here to effect and you can add border and shadow. Do same for this, add border and shadow. Do same for this, add border and shadow. Do same for this, add border and shadow. So this is how it's now looking. All right, so let's do one important thing now. Let's look at how to put slicers or filters. Now you can go ahead and build anything with all these things. So let me show you one important thing, how to add slicers or filters. Now what if we want to add something, you want to choose this by country, you want something that wants to just go and click on country, you can select navigate through any of the countries of your choice. Now let's go ahead. If you come here, you see this slicer. Okay, click on it. Okay, click on it. Now what do we want to do? We want to add, go to your data table. All right, locate where you have country. I want to add my country here. All right, so now the list of my countries are now appearing here. All right, so this is my slicer. Now if I choose Canada, all this chart, that's why I said that Power BI is very responsive, because once you click on one, everything about that dashboard will speak to that particular table or that particular function. Okay, I choose Canada, so all these informations are basically for Canada. All right, now if I choose France, all these informations are for France. If I choose Germany, all these functions are for Germany. If I choose Mexico, all these functions are for Mexico. All right, so that's how it has to be. But I will not want to place this like this. Now there are types of slicers. You can make it so you can make it a drop down, or you can make it a select. This is select. I want it to be a drop down. Now select this. Come to your visualization pane. All right, go here. Now come to slicer setting. Now at this one is vertical list. We have vertical list, we have title. You can have it like this, it's a slicer. You can have it like it's a title. You can just click here, click here, click here, but I don't want it that way. All right, this one is title slicer. Okay, all I want is a drop down. Okay, drop down. So I don't want to be displaying this, so I'll just copy this. Okay, carry this and come here. All right, so you can build your dashboard however you want. I will adjust this. Okay, now this is a drop down. Once I come here, say I want to choose a particular country, all I need to do is just to click on this drop down. I can now choose any country of my choice. Okay, this is how you can choose it. So now I want also to put what else can we do here? Products, list of products. You can also come here and choose slicers, and you come here and carry products and put, okay, these are all the products that we are having. You can also choose I want to use drop down setting. All right, and you choose drop down and you resize it. Okay, now I will take it now to the other left part. Okay, the left part of this, I can adjust it to how I want it to suit to fit this particular. Okay, if I drop down, I can choose from any of this. Okay, you can go as well as fine-tuning it. You can come to slicer header. I can off it. Now there is no more header. That country is off, but if I on it, is coming. So the values, I can change the font size. Okay, or I can increase it. I can change the color. I can bold it. I can change the color to, let's say, red. I can also do same for this as well. Bold it and change the color to red, not really red. Now I can as well, the padding is at 4%, 4 pixels. Okay, I can adjust it as well. Okay, now there's what we call border color. I can add border color either top, bottom, right, which I don't want to add now. It as well as you can also add a background. So for now I don't have background. If I choose background, it's going to be black, but I don't want to choose any background. So I don't want any background. Oh, I went and choose the background. I can as well. Okay, let me choose white since I already choose the background. Let's choose white as back. Okay, so no background. All right, so this is how you can navigate through and do all of this. What if I want to change this product? Let's see, general, the title. You can add title of your own. If you don't want product, you can add your title. You can come to effect, you can change, remove the background. Okay, can remove background. Now you can as well as can add border, can add shadow. Let's go ahead here and also do same thing for this, add and off background. Now you can as well data format. Okay, if I go ahead now, this is what is looking. There is I can change, bring this back to front so that it will not conflict with our. You can bring it a bit. Okay, so now it's looking well. I can increase this. I can increase this a bit. Alright, so I can enable us to increase this as well. Can increase this as well. So it's all about your creativity, how you are able to create what you want. Okay, you can do better than me. You can create dashboard more better than me, more effective than me. Okay, it's all about your personal preference and your design ability. All right, so I'll go ahead. All right, so I can adjust this a bit, adjust this a bit, adjust this a bit, so that there will be space on top of it. All right, so this is how you can actually build your dashboard. All right, so you can do anything you want to do with your dashboard. Actually, I can change this to white. Okay, let's change the effect. Let's add background white. Let's add the background. It will make it to look at least more colorful. All right, so this is how it's now looking. Okay, so we have added slicers, we have done our cut, we have added column chart, we have added bar, added waterfall, pie chart, and the rest. Okay, so we have added background color, and we added how to enter image or whatever. All right, so let's see how we can add one more thing. Let's go to insect, come to shape, carry, rectangle. All right, bring it here. I want to add something. No, we are preparing a dashboard. Okay, all right, I'll change the color, the shape to have a rounded shape. Okay, I'll rotate, style. The color should be white. Okay, all right, it should have border. Okay, border off. Come here and title. Let's on the title. And what we need to do here, we say dashboard, and we choose the color should be blue, and we bold it, and we change this. Okay, let's go ahead and reduce it. Okay, we should not bold it. Okay, let's just change it to dB, then we increase it. All right, so you can as well change this setting to centralized. Okay, we can now copy this, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Okay, you can change this to something else like home, OHM. You can change this to sales SL, right? Because I don't want to have time to do all this again. All right, so you can build a dashboard that looks just like this. You can increase this as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you can build your dashboard. Okay, we have done DAX function and we have built our dashboard using different charts. Now, if you look at here, we have page 1. You can rename it by double clicking. Now you can change it and say, okay, this one is dashboard. Okay, dashboard. All right, so if you want to add another page, just click on this pen, this plus icon. You can start building other projects here, and you can rename it. If you want to delete it, just right click there and do what, and delete it. Okay, and say okay, delete. Now we have come to the end of this course. We have been able to look at everything about Power BI from scratch to finish. So this can get you going. You can learn others on your own as you try to build things. You can come in contact with other new ideas. Also, you can also search online. The best way you can search, there are different materials to learn from online. Okay, you can use Google, you can use ChatGPT, you can use every other platforms to learn more about Power BI. So I hope this course was very useful to you and you're able to learn something new today. So I want to say thank you for purchasing this course. Thank you for, please do well to give me a nice review for this course so that I can keep doing more, and for people like you to also get to come in contact with my tutorials or my courses online. So if there be other thing you want me to do, please, there I have a link onto my YouTube channel. I have also a link to my Facebook page. Please click. You want to contact me personally, I will then also put my WhatsApp link that you can connect to me on my WhatsApp page. All right, then I can also teach you, coach you personally how to navigate and how to go through of all of this. Okay, so my name is George Okunambat. So I am your tutor for this course. Please, if you find use, help me share this link to your loved ones that wants to learn Python and Power BI, to also get this course to learn just like what you have done today. All right, so today we are going to end this course here, and we hope to see each other in other courses in the future. So thank you, and do well to follow me on my Facebook page, on my YouTube, also my personal WhatsApp page, so I can give you one-on-one mentoring. Thank you, and see you in our next subsequent courses which I'll be creating. Thank you, and see you soon.